There's nothing worse than looking at your student loans and realizing how much interest you're paying and how little may actually be going towards paying down the balance. If you're trying to figure out how to pay off your student loans faster, I want to share these 3 strategies for paying off your student loans as fast as possible. Now, it's no surprise that earning more money or decreasing your expenses can free up money towards your student loans, but unless you actually have a game plan for those new dollars saved or earned, it's easy to fall into the habit of spending if you haven't already established a debt payoff system. Now let's take a look at 3 ways you can pay off your student loans in record time through 3 debt payoff systems. Number 1 is to create a separate debt payoff savings account. Okay, if you're like most people, you have a checking account and a savings account. I want to encourage you to create a separate savings account that is only used as a student loan payoff account. Now the idea with this account is to save and pay off $500 or $1,000 chunks of your student loan at a time through this account. Now here's the rationale behind this separate account. Let's say you make a decision to put all of your extra money aside that you've earned from random tasks or jobs that you do on the side. Sure, you could look at your checking account and write a separate check or make a payment to the student loan company every time you earned a few extra dollars, but it's way too easy for that money just to get lost in the mix of things and to be spent on everyday expenses and bills. Now, the nice thing about having a separate savings account for paying off student loans is that you can simply and quickly transfer any amount of money over to that savings account from your phone or banking app. Whenever you make that extra money, then you want to put towards your student loans. Personally, I like the idea of paying down student loans in chunks of $500 or $1,000 payments. And if you have a system like this in place, you can sync up this one bank account with your student loan account and make those $500 payments anytime you achieve that goal or reach that $500 threshold. So let's say you just got your paycheck and you work a few extra hours of overtime. You figured out that amount of overtime was about $250 and you want to transfer that amount into the student loan savings account. Now maybe later that week you decide to sell something and you pocket a cool $100 from it and you go to the bank and you deposit it into the student loan savings account again. Now once you've reached that specific threshold of $500 or $1,000, you've met your goal and now you can chunk it towards the student loans. These little goals, or setting your goals to pay off your loans in those $500 chunks, is a lot easier to stay motivated than to try to tackle the entire $30,000, $50,000, or $100,000 in student loans that you might have. Another way that you can shorten the life of your loans is to use the debt snowball method. Now this strategy was made popular by Dave Ramsey, who encourages you to list out your debts from smallest to largest without regard to the interest rate. The idea here is to make the minimum payments on all your loans, but to apply that extra money towards the smallest loan so you can pay it off first and completely. Now this works because you achieve the small wins or the little wins and eliminate that entire monthly payment of the small loan. Once that payment's freed up, you can apply that towards the next smallest loan and then snowball your payments each month towards the next loan once you've paid that loan off. Now from a pure numbers perspective, some people like to poke holes in this method because it makes sense financially to pay off that highest interest rate loan first. But from a behavioral perspective, the debt snowball method actually works. Each time you pay off one of those small student loans, it increases your drive and motivation to pay off the next loan. Now it might seem more rational to pay off the highest interest rate loan first, but we humans aren't as rational as we like to think. Take a look at some research from the Boston School of Business. They found out that people are more successful in paying down debt when they focused on one account at a time. Surprisingly, their study showed that people using a debt snowball strategy worked harder to pay down their debt, and the participants actually felt more progress and higher motivation to pay off their student debt when they stayed focused on efforts to pay off a smaller portion at a time. So the debt snowball is proven, it works, it's worth trying, and I think it's a great way to pay off your debt fast. Now the third strategy is consolidation. Now there are usually 2 reasons why people consolidate their student loans. 1, they want a lower interest rate, or 2, they want a lower payment. Sometimes a lower interest rate doesn't always translate to a lower payment. For example, you might have the option to choose a 10-year repayment term with a 4.5% interest rate, or a 5-year repayment term with a 3.7% interest rate. Now sure, the total amount of interest you'll pay in the lifetime of the loan is smaller on the 3.7% interest rate loan, but your payment will be larger because the term is only 5 years. Now if you're financially stable and you can make a larger payment, this can be a really great way to pay off your loans faster and save money on interest. But if you're short on cash flow, it may not be the best idea to sign up for a shortened loan term, especially if your job has any degree of variability in the compensation structure. Now, when it comes to refinancing your student loans, I've personally used and recommend Credible to find the best lenders. I used them to find a better rate for my private student loans and was able to make extra payments and eventually pay it off faster than I would have otherwise at its original lender. Now, I like Credible because they give you the ability to find lenders who will offer the lowest interest rate for the term you choose. Let's say you want to see all lenders who will offer a 10 or 15-year repayment option. You can sort the results and select the lowest interest rate and payment term based on this criteria. You can take a look at the review we did on Credible based on our actual experiences with consolidating student loans by clicking the article linked in the description below. For the best interest rates available through Credible this month, be sure to visit ptprogress.com/credible. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 3 most common ways to pay off your student loans faster. If you haven't already picked up the book Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey and you're curious about the debt snowball method, I highly encourage you to pick up this book and to read it because it will provide you such a solid strategy for paying off your debts in record time. And if you're interested in mastering your personal finances with a proven system that focuses on automation and creating smart money systems, check out the book I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. And if these are the only 2 financial books that you read for this summer or this year, I think you'll be off to a great start in paying off your student loans. Hey, if you like this video, I would love it if you'd like it below. Also, if you want more helpful videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.